Okay.
Let's rant about something.
This is ASMR, by the way. Listen to this.
What the hell is that?
That's what I'm saying. That's not nice.
It's horrible, right?
Okay, welcome back to another episode. This is episode 3 of the Ultimate Fitness Podcast. How you both doing?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry, how are you first?
Apart from being a bit sort of flustered this morning, but all good. Got a new setup today. What do you guys think?
I absolutely love it. It's incredible. Your head on top adds it.
Yeah, I thought gives this place a bit of character. Shows you a bit of my personality, what little personality I've got. But there's some collection of Flex magazines which we had signed that Joe kind of donated. And I got my old belts and some Disturbed. And yeah, I think it looked pretty cool.
I think it looks really cool. We have our Disturbed as well, our own brand. The magazines. Really nice. Really nice.
So you're both recovered from the Arnold weekend?
All good.
Today's the first day where I'm not actually ill.
There we go.
Yeah. I woke up, no sneezing, no sniffling, nothing like that. So I'm really, really happy to finally be recovering.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got ill that week, didn't they? I'm not feeling like the best, but I've noticed the numbers of the gym have gone down.
Yeah, I think there's been like a little virus going on. So, which is not a shock.
I think it's your fault because you were the first one that brought it in.
I will say,
Lithuanian flu.
I will say, Daria, I'm going to call her out. Daria was ill 1 week before me. There you go.
Well, we're glad she's gone to Kingdom Gym now.
Yeah. I was talking to Jay about 20 minutes ago about that.
Jay who?
Her partner.
Okay.
And because he's in the coffee shop when I was there. And he's like, oh, no. I said, oh, it's all right. I won't see you again, will I? He's like, oh, you gone to Kingdom? Oh, traitors. No. They were just studying.
Okay.
Close to it, so they went there for the day.
That makes sense.
Apparently the environment was shit.
So, no comment. Listen, I'm not going to slag all the gyms off because,
It just gym reviews, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I have to be very careful when I do these gym reviews because I sort of get to know the owners, and obviously I have to give sort of
constructive, honest.
Yeah. You know, you can't be saying all good things because when people come here, I'd rather them tell them what I need to work on, and which helps the business grow. If people tell me how good the gym is all the time, then you get complacent, don't you?
Mm-mm. No, I've been to Kingdom once, to be honest. It's all right, but it's a bit dark for me. That's all.
Yeah, it's like the total opposite of it, isn't it? I mean, we've got all the windows and it's bright.
We have natural light, yeah.
I think our gym in the summertime's nice when all the windows are open. Yeah. And when we've got the rooftop, that's definitely like an advantage.
Was that a conscious decision of you? To compete opposite of Temple Gym?
Well, it wasn't on purpose, but that's just the way it happened.
It's available space, yeah.
Being stuck in a basement for like 7 years and being on top of a 3-story building, it's quite the opposite, but it's much better having daylight because you imagine being in a basement for like 15 hours a day, no windows.
No, you would miss the outside. I don't think you'd enjoy to be in the gym 24/7.
Above the alleyway at Temple Gym, there was like a pub. So all you get was like rats and drunks getting kissed and druggies.
Keep them together.
Needles everywhere.
Nothing's changed then.
Yeah, nothing's changed. It was absolutely disgusting.
It sounds like Birmingham, to be honest.
Yeah, so we asked a few questions for Instagram yesterday and we're disappointed.
They're all
We are disappointed, guys. Yeah. Come on now, you can do better. You can do better. All of you.
One of the members, Jay, JFC, Camilla's boyfriend, he asked me, would I ever franchise UFB? I thought that's a good question. I think if the opportunity arose and somebody did approach me, I would consider it. I did actually go to a franchise show a few years ago about setting it up, but it never sort of came through. But maybe it'd be something. But I do think the gym's industry is a bit saturated, especially Birmingham. But if they're willing to take, there's so many good gyms now, it'd be hard to compete with more established gyms. I
was going to say, when it comes to gyms, we have a lot of monopolies set up already, like Pure Gym and the Gym Group, for example. Massive gyms. As an independent gym, you can't really compete against that. It's just a different segment, really. So as a private gym, I think it's just good to focus on one, really, and just make it a really, really good gym rather than a repetitive gym. So. Yeah,
people have asked me, would I open another gym? And I find it hard just concentrating on one gym rather than two gyms. I know it would definitely spread me out and one gym would definitely suffer. I mean, so that's why I put all my effort to like this as the flagship gym.
It's not fully just a money thing though for you, it's a passion thing.
No, exactly.
But this is your baby, so
if it was for money, I'd get a job because it would pay more than having a gym. Trust me.
Yeah.
But we have the podcast studio here. I mean, you can't really repeat that twice.
Yeah, the gym's closing down. It's just going to be a full.
Just a podcast studio. There you go.
No, like, I mean, if you get into the gym industry, a lot of people ask me what it's like, but it's the amount of effort and investment you put in. It's the rewards, but monetary wise, is not that great. Like, but you do it for like, obviously, it's giving me a good lifestyle. It's enabled me to travel, meet a lot of good people, get me to train when I want, and it's
like you have to love it in order for that to be like okay for you to be compliant and what.
I've been doing this. I've been in the gym industry for over 30 years, and I love it probably more now than ever. So obviously something is right. Something's drawn me back in for me to have that passion. And
it shows because 30 years of passion is not very easy to nurture. If that makes sense. It's easy to give up within the first 2.
Well, for the first 29 years, I didn't know what I was doing. So
can't get it the first 29, get it in the 30th.
I just find now I'm busy more than ever. I mean, with especially developing more social media, like obviously the podcast, my own social media.
Networking.
It's just everything's just blew off, and I'm absolutely loving it. I love being busy. Probably too busy, but I like to have a purpose. I find it hard to relax, and
I don't think you can really be too busy for something that you love. No. If that makes sense. If it's something you truly love, you can't be too busy. You'll always find space for it. You'll find yourself cutting other things out instead. I feel like, at least that's what I do. I reduce all my external things and I just give up more here.
I set myself like a to-do list on my phone, and every day it's getting longer and longer. And well, so as I tick something off, 2 more things appear. But it's like I said, it gives me purpose, and I love having that. Things to do every day. The little tasks to tick off.
Of course.
So, Joe, did you get any questions?
One.
Did I answer that last question?
Yeah, the franchise.
Yeah. If someone came to me with like a good premises in a good town.
If someone said to you, we want to open an Ultimate Fitness in Abu Dhabi, Qatar or
Dubai.
If they were willing to pay for it, then yeah.
Oh, so sponsors, if you're listening.
Simon would move out there full time.
I would, yeah.
Would you?
I spoke to about this, but one out. I'll probably winter time. I'd probably like to be somewhere hotter than UK, because there's nothing worse than being in UK when it's cold and wet and damp.
If you could have a gym in any location that wasn't Birmingham, for example, would you still do it in Birmingham, or would you do it in another location?
I would love
just reopen it all again.
I would love to open a gym in America.
Okay.
I think probably somewhere like Las Vegas. Because that is sort of the hotbed of bodybuilding at the moment. Yeah. It used to be LA, but recently, because of the Mr. Olympia and more gyms and people migrating to Las Vegas for the gyms, I would probably open something there, because it's growing all the time, and it's a big network over there.
There is. I think you have a lot of connections from around there as well. So when it comes to
every time I go to Vegas, every year there's another gym that's open. So they must be doing something right, and there must be a demand for it.
There must be, yeah. And do America have like a monopoly, like Pure Gym here?
I have a few.
They've got a lot of Planet Fitness.
They've gone bankrupt, haven't they? Yeah. But they're into liquidation.
There's a lot of gyms we probably never heard about, but
Canada have Good Life. So they're similar chain kind of gyms, but the chain gyms over there tend to be a bit more well equipped. Here, like Hammer Strength is standard.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Hammer Strength is like luxury here.
You find like
it's from there though. So
ex-competitors have open gyms, so people that have trained like myself and Flex Lewis, they know what's good, and they accommodate for competitive athlete. i.e. posing rooms, like a groovy bar and like the proper weights. So they you go into like Flex Lewis gym, Dragon's Lair, and it's very Instagrammable as well. So he knows he's sort of hit the right market there. He knows when people come, they'll take videos, pictures, and they'll splatter everywhere. And so every gym in Las Vegas, the ones I've been to, they've got their own sort of look.
So they're all very individual.
Exactly. You can tell. You can tell exactly what gym you're at just by lighting,
color schemes.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is very.
I suppose it's the same with when UK as well. Like Autoflex is all red and black.
Here's blue and black.
Yeah.
Or less.
Here's like blue orange.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to sponsor me and buy me out, I'll happily take your offer.
We all take sponsors.
We can't even get a fucking question. Never mind that. You know.
I know, yeah, it's going to be the shortest podcast in the world. Let me see some questions. All right.
There's if you had one, right?
Yeah, I've got one
Go on.
regarding music.
Regarding music.
I'm going to alter the question because it's too vague. So, one song to do your all-out set on. First thing that comes to mind. Go.
Oh my God.
You go first.
Why is it that song? Because it's even embarrassing to say. Tokyo Hotel, Monsoon.
Okay.
I've heard that song when
insert
I was
the clip.
12.
I will.
That's like my emo days.
Okay.
YouTube
See?
weird song.
No. Damn.
It's got to be is it Bodies,
Drowning Pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's number one.
Yeah. No, actually, it's. Let me look at my phone. It's by Bodies, I think.
The song's called Bodies.
The boys hit the floor. Yeah. Is that the song? Yeah.
You can whisper into the mic.
I knew.
Something like that.
We might get copyright strike.
Every time I put that
so
on,
good.
makes me want to train. By the way, thank you for all the subscribers that I've gained from the last YouTube video. Ultraflex, it's done very well. 5,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Every time I refresh my screen, it goes up by 2-3 subscribers. So
That's good.
my goal is 10,000 subs by the end of the year.
Hopefully one of those people will bother to ask a question.
My goal is to start YouTube by the end of the year. Hopefully, I'm equipped enough to do that.
You know what I found about YouTube? I read something and it really stuck in my mind a few weeks ago. And it's like, don't be too concerned about people. People will judge you anyway. So you just got to do what you feel comfortable doing and just do it. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to film, any topics, just do it. And
it'll be interesting to someone, right?
Yeah, sometimes you don't film just to get views. You feel like it's good to sort of document stuff and look back. I mean, I was looking back from gym monologues a couple of years ago, and it's I've done I've done quite a few.
You've improved as
yeah. You can see improvement, but it's nice to look back on 10 years, see what we were doing back then. So I wish I would have started this longer, but I really enjoy it more so now because I'm seeing some sort of return from it.
Perfect.
Yeah, you should definitely do it.
Oh, I want to. Joseph, you guys going to be honest?
Tell me your appearance.
And you'll find the more that you record, the more that you edit, your videos will become better.
Yeah, I found
watchable.
Yeah, I found speaking hard at first, but now it's getting easier, it's getting better. So I think it's time to actually start kind of investing in new equipment, I think.
Even in the past, 3 months, you've gone from not being able to talk about £1 coffee. To doing a podcast?
I'll put another clip.
No, oh my God, yeah. I used to practice speaking. Simon used to get me on it. And it would take me like 10 different takes to say, hey guys, this is a coffee we're selling. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I was a bit unfair because I put you on the spot straight away, but I think that's the best way to learn.
I mean, like, it's coffee. How hard can it be?
Because if you rehearse it too much, you overthink it and you can just, you just mumble.
Yeah, it's better now, I think, better than ever. So thanks to Simon.
I used to hate talking from the camera. I used to absolutely hate it.
Well, you uploaded that one outtakes video.
Yeah. My first was when I started the YouTube, I think 3 years ago, I was the worst. And I couldn't even watch it back. But now, if I watch it back, I know how much.
I was so scared to watch our first podcast. My family in Lithuania and everyone saw it first there than me. And I watched it maybe a day later. I watched it in clips and little segments.
But that's the thing. No one's going to judge your own. No one likes hearing their own voice.
No, I think it's...
So it doesn't seem natural, but no one really cares.
No one cares.
Everyone's got their own personality, and as long as you can bring that through.
Even if they do make a little comment, truly, deep down, they don't care. They're just making a comment for the sake of it, so...
Look how many videos you watch in the space of 24 hours.
You just scroll.
Yeah. So it's not going to stick in your mind, is it?
Yeah, whether it's TikTok or Instagram.
That person mumbled or forgotten the words.
Yeah, you just end up scrolling. You don't remember what they say, what they look like, anything, so...
Yeah, I think you should definitely do it. Why don't you do YouTube, Joe?
Yeah.
We talked about this for a long time. Also, I used to have
you jump in the back of my success.
I did, yeah. Piggybacking. I'm his bag carrier, really. I'm his caddy. But no, me and Jermaine did a few videos before.
What's up to your podcast?
It's gone.
Yeah, because you said you've done hundreds.
You need a studio like this.
Yeah.
You need to get back into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not the priority at the minute. Doing our thing's not the priority. So, all right, Jermaine's busy building his business. Which is doing my own thing. And when we've got something more to say in regards to us, the two of us, then we'll jump on and talk.
The thing is, you saw Ray a few weeks ago, so where'd you go from there?
It's all downhill.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
All right, another question. Weekend plans.
This weekend.
This weekend plans.
Weekend plans, yeah.
Okay, so to personal people who work within the business, what do you think our plans are? We don't really get a day off, do we?
No, because I've been covering for Sid as it's Ramadan.
For me, I just focus on clients on the weekends, really. That's when I do my plans. That's when I do my programming for the workouts and whatnot. So my weekend is just dedicated to my computer work and maybe like 2 or 3 clients that I take on the weekends, not really more than that. So
I try and get Sunday off as a mental refresh. I try not to actually be in the gym, so I try not to train on Sundays.
Yeah.
Try not to train anyone on Sundays. Try to stay off the laptop, kind of do my own thing. Maybe go watch a movie, go do something social. But I don't really care if I work on Sunday.
do you find it easy to switch off?
No.
No. What about you, Simon?
No. I find it nearly just me last night.
I also find it very easy. I find it difficult to switch on as well.
No, because I find I'm doing more and more, and I tell people, like, you know, you've got to prioritize your sleep, you've got to do this and that, and stay away from your phone. So I put my phone. I put my phone downstairs. Yeah, then I get my iPad out. Technically, it's not my phone, is it?
I do the same thing. I close my laptop, but then I get my iPad.
So I start watching YouTube videos about how to edit and camera lenses about 11 o'clock there. Then I manage to sleep okay because I do track my sleep, and it's I'm getting good 6 to 7 hours at night.
Yeah, for me, even like, of course, even when you do watch those YouTube videos, it tends to be related to your, like,
of course.
Whether it's, for me right now, it's either posing routines that I'm watching, it's either workout videos or just the plans, gym reviews, something like that. That's all that comes up as recommended as well. So
I'll go through phases what I watch. I mean, 1 minute it's like camera tech gear reviews, like lenses, editing software. Then I'll go through phases of the bodybuilding. I'll watch other podcasts. But now I'm in the stage where I'm doing a bit of both. Obviously, for the bodybuilding, my Phantom podcast, I've got to sort of know what's going on.
Yeah, it's got to be current.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you...
And I'm sort of enjoying, you know, watching other podcasts with like Dennis Menace, Jay Cutler and everyone on there. But yeah.
Who do you think has the best bodybuilding podcast?
That's a good question. I'd say, as far as guests, Dennis James.
Yeah, because it's what you're interested in.
Yeah, it's our era.
Fuad's podcast is great. It is the number one.
I don't really watch his
different.
podcast, to be honest.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
I've been invested in that for a long time. So I was watching that 4 or 5 years ago. And you get the same all recurring guests on.
But yeah, that's just,
much more casual thing of just general conversation more so than anything. It's just background noise, really.
I like Dennis because I know him personally, and I know Milos, and I know Chris Cormier. So I know more when Flex is on. I know all on a personal level. Phil I've never met, so I can't really relate to him. I also like Jay Cutler's podcast, which obviously Milos is on as well.
Yeah, of course.
Every fucking podcast.
I've been watching Jay Cutler's YouTube actually. Yeah, it was good. It's good.
I do get inspiration from Jay because he's sort of doing everything. You know, he's like every time I go on YouTube, he's always on there.
For me, I find it amazing how people actually manage to balance their life so much, if that makes sense. Like,
we don't.
Probably, but it looks like that, right?
You only
it
show
definitely looks like that, yeah. But you're in this place, you're in this place, you're doing YouTube videos, you're working out, and you're doing everything nonstop.
I think because everyone always compares the normal day to, like, what you do as a business owner, it's not the normal thing.
No.
What you do, self-employed personal trainer, is not normal. What I do, self-employed personal trainer.
What is normal?
An online coach. It's not a 9 to 5.
It's not a 9 to 5.
Everyone always compares your structure to that. So it's not normal to do that, blah, blah, blah. So then you start, I think if you're consistently comparing yourself, you start limiting what you can do.
Yeah.
Because you got all the time in the world, really, but you've also got no time. It just depends on how you look at it. So it's like next week, you're off to FIBO.
I don't really compare myself to anyone.
No, but next week you're off to FIBO.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of weeks ago it was the Arnold. Before that, you were in America. Last year, you were in America. But
your point is,
but it's
not normal.
It's not normal, but it's
not
normal
regular.
for your lifestyle.
I wouldn't want to live a normal 9 to 5 job.
That's enough.
I find that would have no purpose.
But that's what I'm saying, because average non-industry person would think, oh, that's crazy. Like, how are you traveling so much? Blah, blah, blah. It is normal for you. Like, it's part and
It became your norm,
right? So...
And it's fun. I mean, I know it's sort of class of work.
Yeah.
It is and it isn't. I mean, I do go to network, but you know, it's fun going to these shows, and being all friends.
I was gonna say, as long as you can nurture that passion, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
As soon as you start kind of overworking yourself to the point where you no longer enjoy it, that's when it becomes work.
Oh, the Arnold, when I went to America a few weeks ago, I mean, look how many people brought to our gym. So it was worth it. It paid off.
Of course.
You know.
And it was tiring, but you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people I'd never met before, which I brought to the gym. And if it hadn't made that connection initially, they probably wouldn't have come. So, you know, it's definitely paid off.
Did you answer the music question?
No. Any early 2000s, like, butt rock is the one.
What's that like?
Butt rock. It's the genre, like Creed, Nickelback, Stained,
Okay.
Biscuit. Yeah.
What do you think of when you listen to Creed? Who do you think of?
Kevin LeBron.
It's a clip.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, another question.
Christ.
Do you have any exes?
Do you have any exes? I said
Have you ex-partners?
ex-partners.
I'm not going down this fucking road on this podcast. No.
You wrote it?
No. Who put? Is it on the anonymous?
Yes, yeah. I have plenty of exes, but I don't really want to talk about it. 'Cause we'll be here all day.
Guys, the reason why we're obsessed with you.
I think we've all got exes, and they're exes for a reason.
Yes. Believe them.
We'll move on to the next question.
That'll do.
Who you been texting that lately? Not my ex, anyway.
Not our exes, guys. Don't worry.
Sounds like you got a private investigator interested in coming on the side.
All right, one for Joe.
Okay.
Frying Ronnie Coleman versus Phil Heath lubed up twerk off.
What?
Right. The real question is, who do you think asked that question?
Matt.
I think it's Matt.
Gotta be.
Okay, Matt Jeans.
Matt Jeans. There's a reason you don't work here anymore. Yeah. No, however, if you're going to talk pose physique, nothing comes close to 2011, 2013 Phil.
Yeah, I think so. People talk about Ronnie Coleman.
Pose for pose, I know. I think Ronnie's more impressive, but from a physique standpoint, and I think Phil Heath then was bodybuilding perfection.
I didn't say clips. Yeah, I agree. I was there 2011 and 2012, 13, 14. Yes, and 2000. I can talk about being there. I think definitely Phil Heath was more impressive. I wouldn't say more impressive, but he had no sort of... Ronnie, it was impressive as he was. He lacked certain body parts.
You were there in 99, right? You were there in 99?
Yeah, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003.
So you saw him at his best?
Yeah.
So,
and I seen him when he sort of declined.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the current best?
Current best?
Current participator.
Depends what you're
Actively participating.
Who's the best bodybuilder? Who do you think's got the best physique?
Who do you think has the best physique?
Samson.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Samson, but I don't think he's still up there with the back. But he hasn't got that Mr. Olympia back, which I think to be Mr. Olympia, you've got to have that.
Just like
that wow factor. And his back's relatively weak compared to the rest of his body. Everything else is like, it's up there. But I think look at the last few Mr. Olympias like Derek, Hadi, even Brandon. They've got a tremendous back development. Yeah. Lee Haney, Dorian.
Right.
Ronnie, yeah.
Phil.
Exactly.
Jay's wide as fuck. So, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay, plans for the summer. What are your goals for the summer until summer? Just because we're talking a couple months ahead. I know everyone's planning things, so.
This is interesting for us to talk about.
Oh, for us, yeah. And
so,
as well.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, so I am 3 and a bit weeks in to a 16-week photo shoot prep.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably got around 8 to 10 kilos more to come off. So good, another 20, 25 pounds max.
What you currently weigh now?
85.
85, so you could be...
I was 93 weeks ago. So dropped down 12 pounds, so 4 pounds a week. It's a lot, but I ate like a fucking pig.
That's just by skipping Soho Road.
Literally it is. So
I'm Malaysian.
Yeah. So all the GMOs and all that kind of stuff's pretty much gone. But no, I was getting back into structure. Training's really good. I've cut the majority of the stuff out. You know, I'm not prepping for a show, really. So
not yet.
I'm allowing 1 week, one meal a week off socially just to have pretty much what I want.
Yeah, 1 day or one
meal.
What's what? Yeah, 1 meal's not going to really...
No.
If you achieve a very, very good body shape, which you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Would you then consider competing?
If I'm happy with the way I look from a muscularity point of view, sure. I don't want to turn up.
Nice.
fair enough, condition's the hardest thing to achieve, right, when you get on stage. But if I don't feel comfortable with the actual amount of muscle I have, forget body weight, just the amount of muscle I have, then no.
Okay.
No point. I don't want to rush it. Like I had 2018 to 2021 pretty much of no training because obviously felt ill and whatnot. So it's only been really 2 good years of training again to gain back what I've lost and add what I needed to add. And I'm happy with where I am at this point. Whether I'll look the same again in 10 weeks or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to look the same. Come on, we all know.
No. Yes.
I've got a question.
I'm looking forward to it.
I've got a question. Go on, both. Do you think it works to your advantage or disadvantage working in the gym and training for your own physique goals?
Okay, it depends on the person. Every situation is different. I have to be a little bit diplomatic on this one. However, for me, I think it helps. When I come in here, I'm focused on my clients. I'm thinking gym. I'm going to sleep thinking about gym. I'm waking up thinking about it. So I go here and I know exactly what I'm going to get done. For me, I like structure. So working in the same place where I don't have to commute and use this place as like, oh, I'm going to the gym now instead of, oh, I'm going to work, or vice versa. It's all the same for me now. So work doesn't really feel like, work. Yeah, work doesn't feel like work anymore. Just come in.
So do you find it easy to switch off from like working and training? Can you do that? So like I've been doing a shift, been training clients. Now I'm working. Can you do that? Can you switch off?
Yeah, so I use a lot of tables and just stuff like that, just a lot of reminders. And I just have time to myself where I'm just not going to reply to my clients. I'm sorry, but my training time, that has to be my training time.
Yeah.
So during that time, I'm either music, sometimes I do some content, sometimes I just train. So that is my time, and that's what I do during the day. So
for me,
I think it helps.
Yeah, for me, it varies because if I've got 2 or 3 back-to-backs, then I'm training.
It's hard. You find it hard.
In an ideal world, what I've done and what I've tried to do is get my training
done first.
Plan. So I'm downstairs. If I've trained everyone upstairs, I'll be downstairs. So it feels like I'm in a different environment.
Oh, that's actually
if I'm stuck in the same room for 5 hours, I feel trapped. I feel claustrophobic. I feel like I'm still working.
Yeah.
Whereas, especially at this point, like I'm not, obviously it is going to, hopefully, from a business point of view, the fact that I've got myself in the best shape I've been in, that's going to translate to more people being invested in me and whatnot. But this is for me, not for the business, really, this process. But yeah, I do find it difficult to switch off if the client doesn't have the same mentality towards training as I do.
Yeah.
We were talking about the other day about someone, weren't we?
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, see what the people that we surround with, they've all got really strong goals, people that compete, people want to get in good shape. So to train someone that's normal, everyday sort of, what do you call lifestyle clients, it's quite hard because it's hard for them to adopt the same attitude that we have. And like if they don't do what I would normally do to get to shape, then you think there's something wrong, and you find it hard to sort of.
It's hard to connect. It's hard to connect and get through because you know what's required to get there because you've either seen other people do it, or you're aware, or you've done it yourself, and people will say to you, oh, I really want this, but they might do, but their understanding of what it takes to get there is so fucking far away from what it actually does.
I mean, I've had people come to me, they want to get in shape. Can you do me a diet? So I wrote my diet.
Is that it?
I've got 2 days later that I seen on Instagram eating KFC. I've done 2 days, deserve a treat meal. I thought, KFC wasn't in your diet plan I gave you. Yeah.
And same like they expect certain results as a PT. They expect certain results for you because they do pay us a fair amount of money. So if they're spending a couple $100 a month on you, they expect results, right? However, then when they rely with that money on a PT, they forget to stay accountable. So I have like a couple clients I check up with them for food. How's your food diet? How's your diets going, right? Oh, I've been eating like shit. I can't lie. Fasted this week. I've been stressed. Okay, but that's what's stopping your progress. If you eat like shit every time you're stressed, that's what's going to be stopping your progress every time. So
how about you, Si? More so back at the old gym. So your last comp prep, how did you manage running your own business, being there 24/7 and prepping?
You know what? Because I set up the gym in 2013 and previously I'd competed 2011. So I remember that particular year, we had about 30 guys prepping for various competitions. The gym was sort of established, and I really wanted to sort of compete on behalf of the Ultimate Fitness. And I remember the prep going really, really well. It was probably the best I'd looked for like many years. And because I didn't have to make a weight class, so I had to retain a lot of muscle. But it was towards the last, probably I'd say 4 weeks, when I started to get a bit more tired and a bit more moody. I felt I struggled, and I didn't want to talk to sort of any customers, and
customers.
I didn't want to talk to people, and people asking me the same questions every day, like,
how's the diet going?
And I did snap at a few people, so I am sorry if I did offend anyone.
10 years later.
But I did find the last few weeks are hard, and I think I probably would have been better to train at a different gym and probably have like the last 4 weeks off, because I look like death. I remember Brett, who used to work for me, kept saying to me, "Sorry, I'm worried about you. You don't look yourself. You not spoke to me."
I think a lot of people misunderstand how extreme bodybuilding actually is in terms of a sport, in terms of a diet and discipline. It's not a team sport where you just go around and you have support of 12 other different players.
Unless you've been there and done it, it's hard to relate.
Exactly. And I'm just starting, and I can only speak from what I observe around me, not even from my own personal experience. Yeah, Joseph will put me through it, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm looking forward to it, honestly.
Speaking of that, what are your plans for the summer?
So hopefully aiming for, not guaranteed, but we are aiming for a competition, for a bikini competition. We are starting to increase my diet as well, extra calories. And yeah, it was 8 weeks of surplus, and then we're going into deficit after 6 weeks of surplus, and then we're going into deficit.
Yeah.
So for now, I'm just trying to enjoy the food, trying to get the calories in, trying to work out as much as I can, trying to just kind of twitch little parts, right? Yep. Just have little improvements on my shoulders, a little bit on my glutes, a little bit on my hamstrings especially, and practicing posing as well pretty much every day for about half an hour. I'm quite bad at it, but we get in there, so that's my plans. It's very exciting. It'll be my first one.
Good thing is, like, your routine already is great.
Yeah.
Because you're passionate about training. Talking about female bodybuilding, Simon's not interested.
Right.
So your passion for training is there.
Yeah.
The routine is good. It's just swaying the direction in certain areas, which is going to be suitable for the class.
Yeah.
So obviously you want to do bikini. So if you want to emphasize the shape.
Yeah.
Also from the posterior, build up glutes, build up a little bit of top line for shoulders, cap them off a little bit. Some hamstrings again from the side, from the back. So that's going to be good. And
I think it'll be fun.
Having the food a little bit higher for a little bit. Yeah. So we've got room to pull back down. Then it's going to be good.
And we're changing what food I'm actually taking in as well. Protein versus carbs, for example, as well. Because mine was a little bit all over the place, I'd say. Yeah. And Joseph actually gave me a plan and structure. So that's really, really helpful.
Yeah, it'll be good.
It'll be fun. And it's in Spain, so it's a little holiday, extra couple of days there, hopefully, after.
I've competed in Spain and it's not fun.
He's always a Debbie Downer.
To do your first show abroad, it's very brave.
You do have family there, though, right?
I do have family there.
Whereabouts in Spain is it?
Alicante. Okay. And that's where my family stays.
So when's that going to be?
21st of July.
Okay, so it's not that far away, to be honest.
15 weeks.
I mean, you're leading your way.
That's what I mean. So the start point's great. Yeah. So with push-up food, you're in a 500 calorie surplus for now.
For now.
Do for 6 weeks. You're going to strip body fat off real quick anyway.
Oh, I just melt. Yeah. I'm lucky. Thank you, Mom.
Realistically, you're going to have 10 weeks to get in good shape. And the good thing about bikini as well, it's not about being completely fucking peeled.
No,
it's about bringing a nice
balance. Not far off.
Yeah.
Probably 4 or 5 pounds off that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, if we're going to move to train bikini, that's when more conditioning comes up, right? A little bit bigger shapes too. So start with the bikini, go through with there, see what we're doing after. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Any more questions?
Anything appropriate?
Fat diet, Smith, or
fad diet? Oh.
Fad diet, come on.
Simon's been around for a while. What's your thoughts? You've seen loads of things come and go, right? So Atkins diet, fish only, keto.
For competing, you mean? For prepping?
Just
optimal performance and fat loss.
And fat loss, yeah. That's a good one because people throw themselves into fat diets.
Yeah, people associate a diet with fat loss, so take it under that guide.
Yeah.
Right. So
I've shot diets that work for me have been like very low carb diets when I've been getting to shape. I've worked best. I mean, the last few shows I did, I think the lowest I went down to was about 50 grams of carbs a day. It's quite low.
That is very low.
Especially low for someone who's 100 kilos.
I was going to say.
But it's sort of, I think that's what was needed to do to sort of get into that condition. I mean, maybe I could have probably had a bit higher, but for me to get that real condition that I wanted to, I really had to come down low. My body responded well to having really, it was more or less like 0 carbs, but I think 50 grams spaced over 2 meals, so pre and post training, it's literally like a spoonful of rice, and that was it.
3 grains. Yeah.
And I was doing like 2 hours of cardio training, an hour and a half every day.
It took a lot for you to get down there.
Yeah, because obviously I had to make a weight class.
Yep.
So I didn't really have much room to play with. So that's worked well for me. Looking back, I probably would have had thrown more good fats in, because it was just like very high protein, low fat, low carbs. But now I sort of understand the importance of having more fat in my diet.
Yeah, there's a lot of myths about diets that go on social media. I've been wronged by them too, if I'm honest, in the past.
I made so when I was dieting, when I was prepping, every calorie, every single gram of food I had some sort of nutritional value. I wouldn't end up putting any shit in my body.
No, like no empty calories, nothing like that.
Yeah. No like Cocoa Pops and shit like that. Every calorie was like, it had to be some sort of, nothing processed.
Yeah. Nutritional.
I wouldn't even have protein powder. I would just have like egg whites, turkey, tuna, and a steak probably 2 or 3 times a week. That was in my protein source.
It's like old school bodybuilding type of.
Oh, it's common though. You're so worried about that.
I trust Joseph. I was like, trying to.
But yeah, someone's wheezing. Who's that?
I think that's my belly.
Time to eat.
Time to eat.
Yeah, so with that then, so carrying on from that, if someone was to come to you, just a general person who's trained for lifestyle purposes, and they said, right, I want to get in shape for 16 weeks, what would be your approach?
Taking tips from you now.
Yeah. I just want to see how...
I would ask him what the current diet is, or where they're currently at, what their habits are, what foods they like to eat, what foods they don't like to eat, just general, like a lifestyle questionnaire, how active they are, when they train, supplements they're taking, if they're taking any performance enhancing drugs. I would try and get a good overview of their lifestyle, how their training history. Then I would just take it from there. I would sort of build up or build out, take down from what they're currently at, or just implement them a diet. So this is what you need to eat. Because half the time they're probably not going to be able to eat so much food, or probably be able to. They probably don't like certain food. So they're not going to stick to a diet if they're not going to enjoy it.
I think I find it as well when it comes to clients. The more you tell them to do something in terms of diet, for example, so let's say, okay, try to cut down the carbs, or try to cut down the sugars a little bit, or try not to have 1 glass of wine every single night, they want it more. So it's harder for them to kind of get off those things if you just kind of force them on it, and then they stay with you for like a month. But if that diet is hard, that can actually ruin them coming back, because they think because they're not following the diet, they're not seeing the results, and they're seeing that they're not doing it, so they don't want to pay for the shit they can't keep up with.
Especially if they've never been exposed to it before.
Exactly.
And they think that's what it is, that's what you have to do. And realistically, it is at the end, but it shouldn't be the start point.
I used to really enjoy that, like, switch. As soon as I knew I was probably 16, 12 weeks out, okay, these are the foods I can eat.
You wanted to know your dieting.
I wanted to know. I wanted everyone in the world to know I was dieting. Yes, I did.
I did the same thing to Joseph. Joseph asked me, like, how do you work? I was like, you just tell me what to do and I'll just do it.
Yeah.
He was like, are you robotic? I was like, very much so. I want to know that I'm on the plan.
I'd give myself, say, 4 or 5 protein sources, 2 carb sources, and that was it. And, it'd be very easy when you go to shopping, get foods to take, what aisles to go down to. And that was it. There'd be no sort of going off plan. And I didn't really put cheat meals into, like, back then we didn't have things as cheat meals. No, there was no such thing. Cheat days.
You don't.
It was like, there was no such thing. No. Honestly, it was like, it was unheard of.
I don't think it should be a thing nowadays either.
No. I know a lot of prep coaches, they don't implement cheat meals like Chris Aceto doesn't. And I think when I did sort of implement cheat meals, had the opposite way, because you'd end up gorging, then sort of throw off the, like, 2 days worth and
progress.
I
think as well, like with me, when it comes to, now I'm dieting as well. I've obviously done diets in the past, but now I'm dieting again. when seasonings and spices come into it, I just try to make my food as plain as possible.
Yeah.
Because I never crave anything. If it tastes of nothing, I don't crave nothing because I'm not giving myself like onions and mushrooms and whatever. I don't even count. There's a little bit of fiber or whatever. But when it comes to like fucking barbecue seasoning or anything like that, obviously it has calories in anyway, but
Cajun.
yeah, Cajun, whatever, just some sort of spice mix. If I use that, number one, I end up getting sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
Number two, the tiny bit of whatever it is in there makes me crave fucking everything else.
Yeah.
So that's
Sort of
mainly
opens the floodgates.
yeah.
Yeah, so you just have to, at least when you're in this, I think sometimes you just have to keep your stomach full, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not because you want it, but just because that's a part of your sport and that's the part of your diet, and that's it. Stick it through it, that's it.
But food volume is awesome. Like picking foods where, number one, maybe they're more fibrous. So when you're dieting, you might opt for sweet potatoes or whatever over a normal white potato because it has more fiber in it, whatnot.
Sweet potato fries.
Yeah. No, that's for cheat days only. Sorry. But yeah, just being aware of the food you're eating is number one, really important. As you mentioned, micronutrition too. So getting your minerals and your vitamins in through food.
It's like learning how to eat properly rather than dieting more than anything.
And it doesn't all work for everybody.
No.
Some people need more food to be able to perform. Like you clearly were able to perform on minimal fuel, maximal exertion pretty much. You're doing shitload of cardio. You're doing...
Well, that was all the estrogen I was told.
But yeah, it's like I know people that got stage lean, as in legit stage lean, taking in 300-400 grams of carbs but they're bigger humans, they have more muscle mass, whatever it may be.
Or genetics as well.
Yeah, of course.
Like
you
I
can't
said before.
underplay genetics.
Yeah, my mom's skinny. For me, I can eat.
Do you know, I sort of, I liked, when you hit that 4-week period mark when you're dieting and you think, I know I'm dieting.
You can't eat for that.
Everything's an effort, even walking. I remember once it was... I
can't wait to deplete. I know it sounds weird, but I can't wait to go through it.
Well, there was a day when I drove to Nottingham, me and my ex-girlfriend at the time, and we drove away to Nottingham to have a day off from training, etc. So we drove, it was about an hour, got to the car park, and I was fucked here. I couldn't even get out of the car. I says, you're going to have to change. The thought of walking around the shops for like 2 hours, I thought I couldn't do it. I was that fatigued.
Fatigued.
But that was when I had to get down to like 80 kilos.
Sometimes it becomes extreme, doesn't it? Yeah. Sometimes you have to go to those extremes. It's not always required by everyone.
I felt like death. And they say like the worse you look, like the worse you feel, the better you look.
Yeah. I don't think that's always
no.
Because I feel like...
I looked shit and I felt shit.
Where did you place?
I won that show actually.
There you go. So you did look like shit. Maybe a little bit of truth in there.
That show, I won the British Championships. I remember, it's quite funny actually, because as a little reward, I'd have in my bedroom at the time, I had a desk full of, drawer full of chocolates. Every time I'd go to the supermarket, I'd fill the drawer full of chocolate and I wouldn't touch any of it. And the day before the British, fucking crumbled, and I ended up, I went to this, opened the drawer, I started eating this chocolate here. This was the night before the British Championship. And I was sort of over the body weight, the limit. And I started, I just ate about 20 bars of chocolate.
Oh my God.
The fat load.
Yeah, but sort of it worked for me because the next morning, it was like shit loading.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have any water, sort of the fluid. I weighed in at 79.9 kilos on the dot. And I won the British Championships.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you, Cadbury, for sponsoring that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't advise doing that though, because it's just
no.
When it comes to the last minute manipulation as well, there's so many variables. And I remember hearing a couple of people discuss, having a clean food refeed against versus a shitload or having an off-plan meal or whatever for food that you're not used to. And I think a lot of the time, obviously you're in a calorie deficit. Fats tend to have, they do have more calories than carbs. Yeah. And your muscles have intramuscular triglycerides, your fat storage and whatnot in the intramuscular compared to your glycogen, your water and everything in the muscle as well. So a lot of the time when you're in a very, very steep deficit, fat tends to be where you pull from. If maybe it's just where it's available, because you want to keep carbs in for performance and everything. You want to maximize carb intake wherever it can be to optimize performance, because if you can't perform, you're not going to you're not going to maintain the physique. You're not going to maintain anything. But when it comes to the magic burger and fries, what do you think is the case with that? Because to me, it's number one, you're depleted. You've probably not been taking in much saturated fat. You're going out, you're having fries, deep fried, red meat, saturated fat, probably 20 to 30% saturated fat. Combination there of the carbohydrates, the saturated fat. It just gives you that your muscle a fuller look, because your muscle is made up of carbs, water, which are obviously glycogen, salt, and fat. So that as a meal tends to be.
Yeah, I always implement that burger and fries with my clients. I've done it myself. I've done it the night before a show, and I've done it a couple of hours before. And I'd say about 2 hours before is probably the sweet spot.
Before stage,
yeah. It's knowing when you're going to come, because a lot of shows people get there's delays, but about 2 hours before, burger, fries, sodium, like a big Coke, that really sort of fills the muscles out, gives you that vascularity, which you don't really see if you would just sort of your food by
increase your rice, add a little bit of nut butter on it.
So every time it's worked wonderful for my clients. I've done it myself, so I know my own experience it has worked. I remember doing a guest spot a few years ago, and I was really sort of depleted. Then I went to McDonald's and just ate everything on the menu for like 2 hours before.
That was so nice.
And it looked great, you know what I mean? Eyes full, vascular.
Yep.
So I know it definitely does work. And I don't think you're going to spin over that much. If
you're there, then you know.
Yeah, if you're controlling your water intake, you're not going to hold water, are you? No. Yes, I definitely do recommend the old burger and fries trick. And, I've seen a lot of pros use that sort of protocol.
I've not heard of that trick, but
no,
might use it one day. You never know. I might need to.
You might be using it. You have to order Spanish.
Yeah. Burger King. Burger King's popular.
The Burger King. Yeah, that's French.
It'll be fun.
One more question.
Go on.
Okay.
Close the show with an absolute stormer.
Go on. Give us the best question we've had so far.
I'm asking you.
Right. And that's it for this week's podcast.
Come on, guys. We need some more questions.
You need questions.
Yeah, and I'm sure one of you guys from the audience would like to come on, because we would like to get another guest on to sort of change the dynamic. Of course. And I've got another microphone, which is still in the box. And otherwise, I'm going to send it back.
Any questions, any topics that you want us to speak about? It'd be nice to have like a real suggestions, I think.
What do you mean? God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm off to FIBO next week, Germany. It's like a big fitness trade exhibition.
Best stories from FIBO. There you go. Finish on that.
I can't on this podcast. It's
okay. The best experiences of the expo.
You know what? I can't. I've been to FIBO 3 times and I cannot remember a thing from FIBO. It's a bit of a blur to me. I'm sure it'll come back, but I've not been for about 12 years. 2012, the last time I went.
When was the first?
God, 2002, I think.
Okay.
I remember getting blindly drunk.
I was going to say, why is it?
All the German beer.
But I'm going to make the effort to train, do a few gym reviews. And, Walls Gym, that's one place.
Gym reviews are nice, to be honest. The ones that you do that.
Yeah.
They look fun to do as well.
They are fun.
Travel around the world, look for the best gym in the world. There you go. That's what you're doing this summer.
It's work, innit? It's work. Right, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you again for taking your time out.
Welcome. Hope everyone enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, we didn't really plan for it much. But
sometimes it's good to just have a talk and catch up. And
I think so.
Okay, so thanks everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. And let us know.
Share the podcast as well.
Who you'd like to come on and what questions you would like to be answered, and hot topics.
Discussions, topics, debates, anything. I like debates personally.
Okay.